Well, Ten Hag is a no-nonsense man, and he's here going hard onto Gary Neville after Gary Neville coming out and really slating Wout Weghorst. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. I know I'm late, but obviously I'm going to really add up the day slowly by slowly, and I think by the end of the day would have gotten the best that you guys deserve. Then we are talking Lewandowski to just gone ahead and really broken silence onto how he missed out on going to Manchester United. At the age of 22, Sir Alex Ferguson wanted him, but Jurgen Klopp told him, you are going nowhere. And lastly, we are going to discuss about Wayne Rooney referring to Marcus Rashford to be in the same orbit like Mbappe and Halaand. So, hope you guys are really having a very fantastic Wednesday and you are really having a blast here. And let's get this started as it's supposed to be. Now, we are starting off with Erik ten Hag, the manager of Manchester United, that's going to hate to turn around United. He has said, I saw another comment from Gary Neville where he was conflicted on the performance of Wout Weghorst and that with Wout Weghorst, we are quite successful. I think that's the evidence. That's what I can say about that. I'm happy with him because he's doing a great job for our team. So Gary Neville came out and said that if at all we never had Wout Weghorst, we would have been a better team. That's what he said. So Ten Hag came out and said, all right, why is he saying that onto my player? You get? He just found himself not in a main way, but he came out and really said Gary Neville just needs to find his place, to come out and do the needful and really find himself in the know of really being one of those players that has nothing to go ahead and really say about United players, because Wout Weghorst has really been so important to the club of Manchester United. Do you know why? When we couldn't get those players that Ten Hag wanted, guess what? Ten Hag managed to find Wout Weghorst to come in and play a role at Manchester United, a role that's going to have to perfect very well, though he is really not that striker that you think should be playing at Manchester United. But what would you have done if you found yourself in a situation of Erik ten Hag? You don't have money to sign players like Cody Gakpo. You don't have money to get players on loan like João Felix and Memphis Depay. And the only thing that you had to do was to go in and really find a loan that was about 2.5 million euros and a player who was not even going to exceed £100,000 a week, and that is Wout Weghorst. That's why he's here. But if at all the money was there, would have gotten João Felix or Cody Gakpo at Manchester United. So I think Gary Neville needs to find himself on a better side, because he doesn't know what United was all about. And in my own information or my own opinion, I get worried when I see Gary Neville coming out and really saying all that crap, because he's not the kind of person that is supposed to be saying all that. According to me, he should be saying the truth, you know, because his arguments are baseless. So Ten Hag has gone hard on him, and obviously that's what he had to say about him in there for you. Now let's go to Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney has had something to say about Marcus Rashford, and it was a very huge story talked about Marcus Rashford, but I picked out this one, that Rashford is only 25 and is only one of the best young players in the world. I'm sure seeing players like Mbappe and Halaand scoring goals was a motivation, because they are players he should be competing against, and obviously that's it. But you cannot blame Marcus Rashford. You know, when you look at Mbappe, most of the managers has had are really having a very credible history of really transforming players. Look at Thomas Tuchel, look at Ancelotti, Pochettino. These managers have been really good at grooming players, and I think every manager that has been at PSG has been adding a little bit of a brick onto the talent of Kylian Mbappe. But look at Rashford. The last manager that he had who could really add something to his talent was was Louis van Gaal. Ever since then, United has found itself with managers like Jose Mourinho, who is just a manager, he's not a coach. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who was a manager and not a coach. Then Ralf Rangnick came in through, who is a coach and a manager, but they never went on well with Marcus Rashford. Then there came Erik ten Hag, a manager that is really a coach and a manager. And I think I'm not worried and surprised to see to it that Marcus Rashford has gone ahead to score the most number of goals ever since started playing for Manchester United in his entire career. 27 goals so far, with close to 15-16 games left for him to play. He might even average 40 goals this season. So Marcus Rashford, I think Mbappe and Haaland are giving him competition, and I think after the World Cup he came back when he was on fire, and obviously he set the ground level, and none of those players has gone ahead to score more goals than him ever since the World Cup came to an end. So amidst him having not scored in the game of Liverpool, Southampton and Newcastle, I think he's one of those players that has gone ahead to really thrive under Erik ten Hag, and I think he should be really in the levels of Kylian Mbappe and Haaland. But that will call for him to really have seasons like these that are really consecutive to a level or a number of 4. So that is Wayne Rooney coming out and really talking about Rashford and Haaland and Kylian Mbappe. Now, Lewandowski was supposed to come to Manchester United and has gone ahead and revealed today that I remember that moment exactly. We had a friendly with Dortmund. I looked at my mobile phone in the dressing room. There was a text message from +44. Ferguson had tried to call me, and then he sent me a message. We wanted to talk. He wanted to talk. That's what he said. Then he said, I was still in the dressing room. I took a shower and called him back in a quiet corner. My English wasn't good as it is today. He has a strong Scottish accent. I was so focused on understanding what he meant. Ferguson tried to be considerate and really softened in his tongue. Now, after talking to Sir Alex Ferguson, this is what happened. He said, I was 22 years of old. It was a special speaking with Sir Alex Ferguson. I wanted to go to Manchester United. I told Aki Watzke and Jurgen Klopp, and they said, no chance. Robert, we need you. You have to stay here. So that is what happened in between Sir Alex Ferguson and Lewandowski. And Sir Alex Ferguson wanted Lewandowski. And this shows you that people that we are slating Sir Alex Ferguson for not signing Lewandowski and going in for Van Persie are really wrong, because there is no way you can negotiate for a player whose club doesn't want to sell. Ferguson wanted to go on and really sign in a player known as Lewandowski, but the club said, no, you are going nowhere. So I don't see reason as to why people should come out and really slate Sir Alex Ferguson and the board of United by then. But I'm seeing something similar between Sir Alex Ferguson and Erik ten Hag. You know, all the players that we're signing at Manchester United, it's because Erik ten Hag is here. He talks to the players, convinces them about the project, and they show up to the club of Manchester United. But it was hard for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to convince certain players to come in through Jose Mourinho, because they never believed in their style of play. You get? If you're an attack-minded player, you cannot be convinced by Jose Mourinho to come in through to the team to play, because he's that kind of manager who is really pragmatic and plays a low block. So Lewandowski to Manchester United failed because Jurgen Klopp told him, no way, you are going nowhere. So thank you guys for watching and through your reactions to Ten Hag slating Gary Neville. Welcome in the comment section below. He's not happy with what Gary Neville said about Wout Weghorst. And then Wayne Rooney, is he really in the levels of competition with Mbappe and Haaland, as Rooney is really stating that they've gone ahead to give him competition in this beautiful game of football? And lastly, what do you think about Lewandowski having missed out on a move to Manchester United? Would he have helped us a lot at Manchester United? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokan David remains my name, and this is United Matters channel. And obviously we are going to the game of Newcastle that is going to be played anytime from, how many hours from now? Just 2 hours from now. But 1 hour from now, the lineups will be already out, and we'll be here letting you know who is available and who is not available, who is starting and who is not starting. But as it stands, Antoine Martial is available today. He has been seen arriving at the club of Manchester United. Then Anthony has been there, Rashford and very many others are into the squad that's going to face a team called Brentford at Old Trafford. Not an easy game, but I fancy us to win, though I've seen some pundits calling a 2-2 draw. But I see United really going ahead to really pick its 3 points and obviously get back to the levels of knowing that those 3 are done. Let's go ahead and wait for Everton to come in at Old Trafford and we give them a beating of their lives of the week. So I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly and abundantly. Not so, Muslim friends, my Muslim friends, Ramadan Kareem, my mates. Me out.